Hello, I'm Hatrix, and oh boy, Molten Core were released, and oh, I have been waiting for so long. Now we are in the real hunt for the Thunder Fury, and man, so yeah, in this video I'm just gonna run the first run I did with some a puck group I hosted, and this is some of the actually the most fun I have when I'm playing WoW, is just gathering people together, giving them a good time and a good experience, and making sure that, yeah, just a smooth run. I mean, it's not all the time, of course, but I try my best at least, and that is what counts, I guess. So this is gonna be a chill video, I guess basically almost a vlog, not having any particular direction for the purpose of it, I guess. I mean, it's you can see some footage in the background, me playing the Imp build. I'm probably playing it before it getting nerfed, and I have to find something else. Dutch just posted how the changes for the Imp build are coming, so I'm probably gonna make a small video about it. I'm not sure what, how I'm gonna do that, but yeah, Imps has been, instead of multiplicative, it's additive, or the other way around. So basically doing twice as much damage as they're supposed to. So they're changing that back to work as intended, but instead they are doing a lot of buff to the talents and stuff. Also gonna do some small commentary on the bosses. If you haven't seen Ascension raids before, in Ascension the raid bosses often has some custom mechanics compared to like classic WoW, especially on higher difficulty. I haven't played much of normal classic, so I actually don't know what the normal mechanics are, so probably not the best to do the comparison, but I know some of the weird mechanics are very custom to Ascension. So this one I actually don't know. I mean, he does the mind control when the ads are alive, and then he just burns your mana. I'm also thinking of doing a more specific video on each of the bosses in each raid if I get the time, and if something people wants to, like having a raid guide for the whole raid, so people can be more confident when they're joining pucks, also for new raids to come. But I haven't done that before, so it could be an interesting thing to join, to try out. Join. And yeah, but let me say, when I did this heroic, I was expected people to do like 3k DPS, and people were doing like 7 to 9k, like bare minimum. Also when people whispered me, that were insane. Also for some of the trash in Molten Core, like a good tip you can see here, we are pulling the hounds, and these are some of the hardest trash in like all raids, because if you kill some of the hounds, the longer the hounds are alive, it will start to resurrect the other dead hounds, so you really want to kill them at the same time. As you can see now, it's a chain reaction of hounds starting to be resurrected from the other hounds. So here as a tank, you really either want to start kite them, and yeah, just really want to try to avoid in the first place having some ads, having some packs be pulled together. And here we are pulling a Magda. Not gonna lie, I have no idea what the two heads are all about. That is a new thing for me, and I haven't get around to ask about it. At this point I'm too afraid to ask. I guess you just, I mean, it seems to either be like you cleave them all down, focus on the main head, I guess, and just be focusing on Magda's, I guess the whole body of him. And yeah, the other mechanics that you can see on the ground, there's some fire, and then he does a big fear. If you have tremor totems, you really should either, in Ascension, also how tremor totem works is a party base, so you can only have like tremor totem for group 1. Here you can see people are getting feared with the purple stuff on the above of the head, and you really want to have tremor totems in the group, especially for the tanks and the healer group, so they're not getting too fucked by the fear. But we're getting the bosses down. I think we wipe on 2 bosses, but I'm actually showing this in this video. And I think it's important to show that, because often when you see people wipe, it's often that time you learn most about the bosses, instead of just seeing people kill them flawlessly, because you never see what's have happened before that. So here I've sped up the video, so you don't have to watch us clear trash and just do all the running. Not much is happening. We're doing the big golem boys. For this next boss, there will be spawning some flame orbs, so you really want to be clearing the room. You can see I've already marked the big golems, and you really want to clear around. Also, there's a lot of big dogs patrolling, and you can basically not kill too much. Here we're pulling the boss. Again, you really want to be killing the ads. I don't think these ads particular do some insane mechanics, but for these bosses at least, it's just should just do it. So here you can see he's spawning a flame orb. That's a ad you basically cannot kill. It's not worth to kill it, and it does a big pulsing damage. That combined with a firestorm he does, that is what gets us and kill us the first time here. Basically the tank wants to kite the bosses. At this point I'm not aware that the tanks are not that familiar with the tactics, and that is fine. I mean, I think it's fine that people have confidence to just try their luck, join a group and see if they can handle heroic. So we wiped and we go again. I try to explain to the tanks that they should try to be kiting more, and there's also a pillar you can see in red mark. There's a pillar you can get the boss around to, so you can actually be kiting the boss around the pillar, so you are away from the flame orbs. You can also see some footage of the build in the background. If you noticed, this time I have the imp on auto attack, but I'm very bad at remembering it. I also have a lot of mana issues with the build, but you will understand why later in the video, because I'm a giga retard. But yeah, that happens even for me. I mean, I guess it happens a lot. So here as you saw, the tanks didn't get the memo quite, so they actually just pulled the boss away and reset him. That is not what you want to happen. As a raid leader, what I do here is I really want to try to keep the good moods. I think that is the #1 thing you can do as a raid leader, because so people doesn't spam in chat, and you're basically the center in the group, so you really want to make sure there's a good mood, and you can really be the one spreading it. So people doesn't just go wild in the chat and type shit. So here we have a pretty good go. I get open my inventory as well, and I'm probably at this point I figure out that somebody forgot to change their leveling items before heading into Molten Core. Yeah, that is not optimal at all. But I'll figure that out soon. You can see we take a lot of damage. The flame orb is spawning on the bus, and we are getting the tanks are cutting the bus away from it. And this is exactly what you want to do in order to kill this boss. And now we have both of the flame orb stacked together, and the whole raid is just running around from them. Here you can see both of the flame orbs are getting on each side of the pillar. In this situation, you just, as the tank does, they should not continue to kite around the pillar. Instead, you should just be moving out and play with the whole room. And this is very good actually, because often, and this is why I trust people, when either they have to learn or see the mechanics twice, they learn the mechanics quite fast. If they are like lost behind a wagon, what do you say, then it's another story, but then you can take it from there. I often just try to trust in people and take it from there. Here we're clearing the ads for the next boss, and the next boss is my favorite because it's one of the bosses that drops the legendary binding of the Windseeker. And that is you want the one binding from this boss and the one binding from Baron. And when you have two of them, you can craft the Windseeker, the Wind Fury. And on Ascension, it has even have different difficulties. So if it drops on heroic, the Thunder Fury will be a heroic Thunder Fury. So I would settle on a heroic Thunder Fury for myself, but I really hope that I can try to get my hands on a ascended Thunder Fury. That would be ideal. Actually, I'm as you can see on the datasys video, it's 2 days later. I'm making this commentary later on, and actually with the guild I joined, didn't think much about it. I knew 2 people in it, an Ascended guild. Yeah, you maybe saw the healer video from Ascended. I've actually getting into Ascended also on my this character Smallpox, but I'm playing on 2 characters right now, so that is quite interesting. And also gonna see what I do there, because don't really want to grab gear on 2 different characters for the same guild, but I also don't want to lose my chances for the Thunder Fury, of course, on Smallpox. So probably my plan would be to go on my other character, the healer, from my chain healer videos, and be raiding with that. Just need a better DPS spec on it if I'm not playing a healer. But the healer is so crazy. If you haven't seen that video yet, oh boy, I mean the healer could do like 5k DPS single target. Is so crazy with the living rod and the charge tide combo. Not sure if it's an intended combination, but we'll see. It's because there's a talent called charge tides. So each time you do lightning bolt, you get reduced cast time of your chain heal and stuff. But right now it seems like it's proccing from Riptide, and that is the hot from Riptide. That is not intended. In my opinion, it shouldn't be, at least. So we'll see how that goes. So probably a small change in that, but you don't have that for me. Abuse while you can. So here you can see the the second favorite boss, because it also drops a binding. At this point I also haven't figured out I have living items on me. So yeah, but this boss is also so chaotic. I also sped it up and I think I cut some out, because this boss is taking a shit ton of time, and that is basically just happening all the time. It's pretty chaotic. People getting knocked back, bosses running for the people getting knocked back, people trying to, yeah, people really just lose their head on this boss. And we'll see if the binding drops. Not spoiler alert, but yeah, sadly it didn't. But I'll do these heroic pucks. And if you see me in the chat hosting these heroic pucks, don't be afraid to ask for invite if you are, yeah, playing. I do though for heroic expect people to do like 3k DPS, but I mean every build I've seen so far has been capable of doing that. And yeah, if I see people sneak in with 2k DPS, I mean at this point it's probably fine. It's so fine, because other people are doing so much DPS. And here I even forget to roll on the hammer. Quite a shame, because it's actually a nice upgrade, but I don't want to be rolling on it afterwards, since I'm forgetting it, and that is fine. It's quite a while since I've been managing loot, so just some getting used to again. Didn't really play much Ascension in last season. Most of my peak time was in season 7 and beyond. I hosted a lot of puck runs as well. I think it's quite fun. And also, to make it go faster, I have this add-on, so can get the loot goes out faster. And I think if you want to find it, it's called Mao Sao's loot tracker. I really can't remember where I found it. It's so long ago. If there's a lot of interest in it, either whisper me in game or type it in the comments, and I'll see if I can find it and give a link in the chat, or a link in the description or something. And here I think we sadly didn't get the helm. Really want to get the new tier 1 items. I think last season, or yeah, I think last season they buffed the headpieces, and oh boy, these new tier pieces have been so sick and so strong, at least for tier 1. The sad thing is we're not really having tier 1 around for so long, because before we know it, the Onyxia is out, then we have the tree set from tier 2, and then not that long after we're getting the BWL, and then we can have the full tier 2 set, and that is quite strong. So here you see a healer whispered me that he had to go AFK. One thing you can do as a raid leader, you can say, okay, the whole group, we take a break. But the thing I like to do in Ascension at least, is that if it's only one person and we haven't been raiding for so much, I just make the call that we just clearing trash until everyone is back. It's also a nice trick if we are missing someone for the group and we're just standing and waiting, then why not clear some trash and be efficient about the time. So here you want to pull Baron Geddon. He is patrolling, so you want to grab him when he comes back. The important thing for him is that one player in the group, at least for heroic, will get the Living Inferno, and if you're standing in, it's a debuff, so when it expires, you will explode and knock people up in the air. You really want to avoid standing close to people, so really want to try to get out when you have the debuff. Besides that, you can see I have a debuff and everyone in the raid has a debuff right now. You lose some mana each second, and for this debuff you really either want to have Mass Dispel or single target Magic Dispel. At least for my build, I don't have life tap sadly, so it's very rough on the mana. I can really feel it, so at least for heroic fights and such, it's not a big deal. And you can also see I got my gear on again, so I have a lot of mana again. Here you can also see both my Hand of Gul'dan and my Dark Domination is on cooldown. the way it works is that on Metamorph I can be casting Hand of Gul'dan twice, and with the talent I have, each time I cast the Hand of Gul'dan, the button I have on R, the hand, it loses 30 seconds of its cooldown. So it's very nice. It has 1 minute cooldown, so when I cast Hand of Gul'dan twice, I basically can cast it again, and just and when I cast the hand thing icon, I reset my Hand of Gul'dan, so I can basically just keep doing that over and over, and between that I have like 1 or 2 seconds that I can do other stuff. So either cast the Incinerate to proc my legendary, or I can Mind Blast to get both Backdraft, and also it procs the legendary, so it's very nice. Also sometimes trying to keep up corruption. I think at this point I didn't have a corruption tracker, so it's quite hard for me to track if I have corruption up or not. I got the Eradication talent, as I talked about in my top 5 skills video, so my corruption gives me increased haste. So it's a lot of good haste, but it's very expensive to keep up corruption in mana cost, so I don't know how worth it is. I'm not benefiting so much from the haste, it's more my imps. So here we're getting ready for the next boss. This boss is awful for this build, and not because of the build itself, it's because of my my lack of mobility. If I just had like Blink or Demonic Leap or anything, it would be fine, but yeah, sadly I don't. So here again I'm forgetting to make my pet attack. That is really where you don't want to be with this build, so I remember it now, but should either have it on defensive or just have a macro for it. The reason why I prefer to have it on passive most of the time and just try to remember it is that so my imp is not just running wild and attacking random trash and stuff. And here you can see the build, well, after we got gear, is actually doing decent damage compared to that we have to run so much on this boss. And here again we're losing so much uptime and just casting because we cannot just blink out. And here we're losing 5 people to the explosion. Yeah, you really can't cheese that either with Divine Shield or anything. You cannot. So really want to get out. And here we're killing the boss, and we're actually landing on a almost third place. And that I'll take any time, especially. And you can see here again, the Hand of Gul'dan and the Dark Domination, the other hand I guess, is on cooldown, both of them. So there's something wonky going on with the interaction between that. But yeah, I'll see if I do a bug report for it when the when Dutch have announced how they're gonna nerf Wild Imps. Because it's quite awkward to play and sitting for 20 seconds and not being able to cast Hand of Gul'dan. So for the next boss here, it's basically yeah, tank and spank, do AoE damage, kill them, at least for low difficulties, and I think even for Ascended, it's basically the same, just big AoE and kill them all. And focusing on the ads. Here I'm doing some marks on the small ads. I actually, to be fair, had no idea which one you want to prioritize, but 9 out of 10 times it's better to prioritize at least one of them to get them down, rather than just kill them all at the same time. So if it can just give a bit of an edge of killing one of them, we take it. As long as there's no like a big tactic reason to keep one of them alive, then you really want to pay attention to not focusing anything down. But most of the time you either figure out or someone will tell you if it's very wrong what you're doing. And also, at least for what I can with this build, I mean I have no chance on following up on DPS. That is just, I don't know, there's some AoE component in the legendary, but not what I've found that would do some really insane damage. It's when you sacrifice an imp you do some AoE, but maybe I should be more on sacrificing imps rather than just casting the imps. Might be, I just have to test that out. Really having been trying to focusing more on going into depths with this build, if it's just getting nerfed into the ground in 1 or 2 days, so then I'll take a new decision after that, because it's out of my hands what they're doing. Here we are clearing to the next boss, and this next boss is quite fun because, as you can see here, it's just on the normal Molten Core. there's something called cave in, so it's like the ceiling is falling down doing AoE damage. Normally you would spread out and move out of it. On Ascension you have such a strong healers and Ascended, so you can basically just be stacking and out healing it. So this is what we do. So I've told the raid that we stack the boss on skull, have the group standing on cross, and the tank having the ads on purple marker. Yeah, and also making sure people are on the same page. Really should also find a way to add-on for fix my loot so it doesn't pop up on my UI. It doesn't bother me that much because the only two important times it can be in the way is like M+ and doing like difficult raids, but at those 2 times there is really no loot coming out, so when it matters it really doesn't matter, if that makes sense, I guess. So I haven't been spending my time figuring it out. So here we can really get a good idea what the build are capable of. This is a very good single target fight. At least one, I think one of the best for single target fights in the raid. And here we're not starting that strong, like 7k DPS. And I think the main issue is that we're not tracking the buff from the demonic persistence, and that is a big issue. So I'm not having min-maxed uptime of that. So I think later that day I actually make a tracker for it. I use Tell Me When. That works for me. It's basically a very budget week hour. But yeah, I haven't played much around with doing week hours myself, and it's hard to find like specific custom week hours for such a niche private server. So here we're actually starting to ramp up, and I think we are landing on a pretty good position for this boss. So as you can see, we are still, as I told in my other Wild Imp build, we are missing 2.5 of the most crucial talent that is, would increase our damage with like 40%. Keep that in mind when you see this damage. Missing just 2 talents for this, and just didn't really roll anything important, so the ceiling for this build is so high, and that is also why we're looking into a big nerf for the build, because it's so strong. Sadly, but landing on the 9k-ish after the boss. For this boss, I'm telling people to standing on cross. This is because there's a tactic, so all of these small ads, they are casters. So there's an ability from rogues called Smoke Bomb. So if you pull the boss with the Smoke Bomb, all of the ads, as you can see, run forwards the group, and you can just gather them up and stack them. That is the best tactic so far I have seen, at least. So yeah, and you can also see the top damage. This is a fan of knife, feather infused weapon dude. Does so much AoE, it's so crazy. And I didn't even think he had Blade Fury. I don't know how important it is for it, if it even procs the feather infused weapon. But even without it, I mean, you can see his damage is crazy. Here you can see in the Molten Pit, people are getting chained. Yeah, I didn't pay much attention to it, but I don't know how much I can actually help those people, because all my damage are focused around the imps, and I really don't think I can... Excuse me. I can change the direction of my imps that fast, so really not the best build to help those people out. Hope that others have like a big earth shock or something from booming thunder and such. That is also something I'm gonna talk in another video, like how different builds are performing very well in different scenarios, and why, especially in Ascension, when you can have multiple, like 2 more specialization, why it's a very good idea to have a different arsenal depending on what fight and situation you will be in. At this point, when the raids are so easy, when we have so much damage from the builds, it doesn't really matter, but it's a fun topic I'm gonna talk about at some point. Also it does matter more in like retail WoW, but definitely also have a place to talk about in Ascension, and how different builds have different damage output. And yeah, Anime Waifu wanted to say hello to YouTube, so hello Anime Waifu. Thought it was fun to put it in. Here I'm solving some loot issue, but skipping that a bit. It's also something you have to deal with as a raid leader, but it's a thing you learn over time. This is also why I hope people should try give it a go with trying to do puck raids. It's not that bad. Also, the only way to learn it is try and fail and error. But I also get why people don't want to raid lead and interact with people, because there's so many small things that you can either misstep, both with mechanics and having to do the tough decisions with either loot or stuff like that. And here about the tough decisions, I'm making the decision to merge the ads on the first pull here. I still think it's not that bad of a call, because it has worked in previous seasons. And we actually did this on Ascended difficulty yesterday, so it's not a bad tactic, you just have to do it right and properly. So here we have the intermission. Intermission in raids means it's a specific part of the fight, either where the boss is gone and you have to deal with a set of mechanics. Here we're dealing with some ads spawning. When you're close to these ads, as you can see our damage, it's dropping so much. When we are close to these ads, we are taking a big AoE damage and we're just stacking on top of them. This is the main part of the reason why we are wiping here. And now also standing to the big ad. So also we spend a lot of time having the ads to merge. The way you merge them faster is that you move them around. It will help them to merge faster. And also really have to just gather them fast. It's a very, very big part on what's it called? Big responsibility on the tanks. Here you can see we are not getting it down quite fast enough. Ragnaros is spawning. We didn't get the knockback here. But we're getting the knockback soon, and that is wiping us. If that is not the knockback, I think I sped it up here. I think it's just the next phase where we have so many people dead. Don't know how much the healer pulled in healing. I didn't pay attention to it. That can also be a reason healers should be doing like 2k. Here I think the reason why we're wiping actually is that, so I paid attention and saw that we took so much damage from the ads and the AoE did. So now I'm telling the raid go to cross, and I'm putting down now so you don't take damage from the ads. And you can see the group is pretty healthy right now. Only some people are taking damage. This is pretty good. The only issue here, as you can see, in like 10 or 15 seconds, and you can see the lesser son of flame is not really getting close to the other one. This means that it doesn't merge with it and become bigger. And before we get it bigger, it doesn't really matter how much damage you do to the ads. So you can see we're spending a lot of time to just getting the merge together, and not many people alive now to even kill it. So Ragnaros will be spawning soon, and that is not good, as you can see soon. Yeah, and also think this is pretty much a wipe, so I also spend a bit time of typing. As a raid leader, it's better to give information to people and sacrifice some of DPS. At this point I didn't remember the knockback, so this is definitely what causes to wipe, because getting knocked back into the lava and not being able to get up, especially with healers also getting into the lava, that's a bad combo, and we're wiping here. So going again, also sped up the video so you don't have to watch the entire fight. And here you can see I still have the red mark on the ground, and we're doing the same tactic with merging them. So you can see we're getting to red mark. At this point I still haven't figured out that is part of the reasons why we are wiping. And you can see the small son of flames is not getting close together, so we are spending a lot of time not merging the ads. The ads are just running around, not being stacked together, and if they're not close together, they're not merging. They can only merge with an ad with the same name of themselves. And you see we're taking some AoE damage, but it's not that bad from the merge, and we have to kill it here. So this is part, and this is also what happens in Ascend, that you just get both of the ad and the Ragnaros at the same time. This is fine, you just have to have a defensive cooldown or something, some bigger heals coming out, because you're taking a lot of damage from it. And yeah, getting knocked into the lava again from the knockback because we have a bad position. That is the main reason why we're wiping. It's not because of the ad. The ad are actually dead here at this point, so if you didn't get knocked back in the lava, it wouldn't be a wipe. But yeah, getting knocked back into the lava as a healer. So here we go again, and here we're having a discussion about the tactics, because of course something is wrong with the tactics because we are wiping so many times. But there's also multiple parts to the story. People are often just tunnel visioning a bit on what could be the main issue of the wipe, and not looking on all the issues and angles. And that is something that, yeah, that is fought for another time. So here I've moved the red marker. This will protect us from the knockback, so we will be knocked back into the wall. This is how we always should do it, and I have no idea why I didn't position us like that in the first place. It's a long time since I did Ragnaros. Sue me. I mean, nobody told me why we didn't position there. So, but also I guess people expected me to have more knowledge and control about this. So I don't blame them. I will learn. My next run will be more flawless now. And that is how it is. Progression, and yeah, shouldn't be much progression in heroic, but I mean, a full heroic clear in 1 hour, 1.5. It's not that bad. Just go again, especially in Ascension, where you can just release a checkpoint and go again. Here we changed up the tactic because people were thinking, oh, we're not getting much damage on the ads, so this must be the most reason why we're wiping. So instead we are taking one of the small ones away, and when you do that, they can never merge and become big. So you can just kill them. As you can see here, at the exact time that we killed them all, Ragnaros came back, so it was quite nice timing. And this we did on a rinse and repeat, and we killed it. And also the imp build is not the best one for this boss. Also, big reason why I'm not on the much higher on the damage is that I don't give a fuck about damage when I know I can do damage. And if I don't have any reason to be attacking the Son of Flames, if it's not a reason, I'm not doing it. I mean, for this, when we're killing one of the Son of Flames, I should be doing it, so I think I'm just more focusing on everything is running good, seeing how the healers are, seeing how the healing numbers are, if we have any healer issues, not meeting the healer checks, and just doing small DPS instead. As raid lead, I don't think that is too bad. And here we are getting it. So nice. First heroic Ragnaros for me on this season. And thanks everyone that joined this raid. Feel free to, of course, join me in next runs. It was such a fun time. And here the choker of the Fire Lord drops as a big spell power neck, and I really hope to get it. But sadly, yeah, I didn't show it, but yeah, we didn't get it. But instead, we're actually getting the tier 2 chromatic leg guards. And this item, if you can get this on heroic, this will be your best in slot for the next 2 months or something, because it's the tier 2 that combines with the Blackwing layer. So yeah, that's a big item to get now, especially on heroic, until I get it on high difficulty, hopefully. So yeah, that is what I had for you in this video. I hope you liked the commentary / vlog on some raid leading stuff, some boss build stuff. Yeah, just having a good time. I still keep saying that I have the big melee build coming up, but yeah, soon TM. I will try to get it out. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Have a good one.